The former Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Gachagua, today in the morning held the first TikTok live. And in the said TikTok live, Gachagua had decided to go head on with President William Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza administration, exposing how they have been conducting or carrying out the businesses in the country, exposing the corruption within the government. And also, once you question power of the president, once anyone within the circles of the presidency questions the president has an ego that he feels nobody should question him. And so people like Justin Muturi, the Cabinet Secretary of Public Service, who made a mistake of questioning or speaking truth to power, are currently facing the worst times of their political career under President William Ruto. Gachagua also spilled the beans on how the beef of President William Ruto and Justin Muturi began, and what President William Ruto did that really led Justin Muturi to speak against the president. The former Deputy President Gachagua unleashed a new offensive on President William Ruto for allegedly harassing Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi over his new defense towards his regime. Now, speaking on a TikTok live session on Thursday morning, Gachagua pointed out a widespread disaffection towards President Ruto's administration due to his unpopular policies and betrayal of the mountain. He referenced the incident at the burial of Eric Mutugi, son of former Senator Lenny Kivuti, when the mourners shouted at CS Muturi as he prepared to read Ruto's condolences message. Now, Gachagua claimed that Ruto wrote conceding messages to the cabinet secretary following the incident, accusing him of inciting the people. And I quote him, "It is unnecessary to harass Muturi. They are saying that he is the one who organized people to reject Ruto's condolences message. That is not true. CS Muturi was abused by the president." Now, listen, and I said this yesterday. It was during the December period when we were on this verge where abductions had taken up the whole space. And a lot of people were being abducted, including a young man from Embu County by the name of Billy Mwangi. The 21-year-old, or I think the 24-year-old, is a story that went viral. Billy was kidnapped and he disappeared for 2 weeks before reappearing. Now, during the time that Billy's parents were crying on every media in the country, asking the president and those close to him to intervene for the release of their son, that is the time Embu County was on its toes. Everybody was gunning for President William Ruto. And also, the first demonstration of anti-abductions started in Embu, led by the Embu constituency, I think the Embu member of parliament by the name of Mukunji. Now, those demonstrations came while few days later, the burial of the son to Lenny Kivuti was being buried. Now, at the burial, Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi comes with a condolences message written by the President of the Republic of Kenya. Now, this condolences message, it's being brought to the people of Embu who have expressed their greatest dissatisfaction in the regime of President William Ruto. As in, if there are people that have said they want nothing to do with William Ruto, are the people of Embu County. And Beden Muturi is pushed to go ahead and sell Ruto in Embu County. These people tells Beden Muturi, no, we are not buying that man. We are not taking anything that is, as the fingerprints of President William Ruto. So when he stood to read the condolence message of President William Ruto to the people of Embu, they heckled him and they told him that they don't need Ruto's message or condolences message. At the said burial, Rigathi Gachagua was there. When he stood to speak, he was celebrated as a hero. He was celebrated as a man that has stood for justice of the people of the Mount Kenya region. And at that time, who had stood with the people of the whole country at the time when abductions were ripe in the Republic of Kenya. Are we together? So President William Ruto saw Justin Beden Muturi as a weak man who couldn't bear to stand for him in his own backyard. Ruto believed that somebody like Muturi had the ability to defend him. And if he couldn't do so, or he stepped back, then Ruto believed Muturi had a hand to play in the heckling that happened. Not only that, Ruto knew about the abduction of Muturi's son. So he saw Muturi as a sympathizer to the people of Embu County who were then protesting against the abductions that were going on in the country. Allow me to continue with Rigathi Gachagua's message. He says, he wrote very offensive messages accusing him of inciting people. That is unfair to the cabinet secretary. It is the people of the mountain who rejected because of betrayal and deception, he added. Now, Muturi has been making headlines in the past weeks after he questioned some of the government's actions regarding abductions. The bold move drew criticism from Ruto's henchmen who have since launched an attack on cabinet secretary, calling him to resign. During the live session, Gachagua pointed out that the mountain would remain united against the Kenya Kwanza regime. He warned the Western region not to fall prey to Ruto's charms like the mountain during the campaign period. And I quote him, I want to tell Western Kenya to be careful. The president was here for 5 years, and that's how he convinced us to vote for him. So learn from us. Now he doesn't come here because we know that he cheated and conned us, he noted. Now, I believe that this message Gachagua is conveying to the people of the Republic of Kenya is a message that he received from Justin Beden Muturi himself. Muturi and Gachagua have been in direct communication. And that's how Gachagua is able to get to know inner information on what really happened between the president and Justin Muturi. So the president believed that Muturi is sympathizing with Gachagua, and Muturi also has a bone to chew with the president because among all the top officials of the government, nobody else's son had been captured during the Gen Z demonstration. Nobody else's child had been abducted during the Gen Z demonstration. It is only Leslie Muturi who was taken into custody by the National Intelligence Service, and the father went through a lot of intimidation trying to get the whereabouts of his son, until now he bowed to every pressure and decided to drive to the State House, where he met President William Ruto as the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, knowing that the man held one of the most prestigious offices in the land, to beg President William Ruto to make a call to the National Intelligence Service Director Newden Haji to have his son released. So Muturi saw this as a move of intimidation, not only as a move of intimidation, but disrespect from the president and the allies to the president. And that is why he did not even take the stand to defend the president when the heckling happened in Embu. And that is why, right now, the claims that Gachagua is bringing that President William Ruto abused Justin Bedan Muturi for inciting the Embu people to heckle him and reject his message speaks volumes, and we can dare say that it is nothing but the truth that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is saying. Right now, as of today, the Taifa Leo magazine publicized an article informing us that the Cabinet Secretary of Public Service, Justin Bedan Muturi, has not appeared in his office for the last 10 days since he went on to expose President William Ruto. There is a publication that came from one Bwana Cyprian Nyakundi, one of the most outstanding media personalities, incredible media personalities we have in the country. He says the public service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi, who skipped a cabinet meeting chaired by President William Ruto in Kakamega on Tuesday, is reportedly carrying out his duties remotely and has not been in his ministry offices for the past few days. According to local media house, CS Muturi argues that his absence has not interfered with his responsibilities and insists that no pending task require his physical presence. Muturi is walking out. Now the question is, will he gather the courage to resign and now go on a rampage calling out the president publicly, like the others who follow Gachagua did? That is a question that a lot of us are asking. Now back to Gachagua's message. What are Kenyans saying? I want to read a few comments after the publication of the said story. Darklight says to an extent people might believe Gachagua. Telo Olet says Muturi mischievously encouraged people to reject Ruto's message to be read. His body language told it all. Alexis Karori said, kwenda huko wewe ni mchochezi alafu unajigamba eti kiongozi surely hata una aibu mkabila wewe. Thomas Yebei says Gachagua is now behaving like a woman. Fitina gossip to hard incompetency, tribalism, and incitement is just too much for one man to carry all this. Jane Becker says Muturi should resign to save his face. Jackton Mwaniki says mountain ni kusema nini sasa. Samuel Kenodia says too much unmanly gossip. Bwana Gachagua. Alfred Cheruiyot says, are you Muturi? You are a liar. Mohammed Omar says an inciter, an incompetent, a tribalist. I've spoken. You now want to incite other Kenyans against other tribes. You are known more than malaria in Kenya. Your character speaks volumes. Yani, a lot of these names tells you why these people have a bone to chew with Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, because it tells it all. It tells it all. But the question is, what do you think happened between President William Ruto and Justin Bedan Muturi? Leave your comment on the comment section. See you